What's good out there, people? It's your boy, the one and only, DG, the chef, and welcome to my Madden Ultimate Team YouTube channel. Now, today we're going to get right into it. We're going to go over all of my favorite one-play touchdowns out of the New Orleans Saints playbook. This is going to be a free ebook. Now, it's not a scheme because I'm not telling you how to put a full offense together, but nonetheless, it is free. So before we get into the video today, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. If you want more pro tips from your boy, more in-depth views at how to become a better Madden player, make sure you join the Chef Fam community by hitting that join button. Yeah, by doing what the graphic on the screen tells you to do. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so basically what I want to do today is a lot of people put out like one play touchdown videos. And it's always up against the computer. And so you can't really tell if you're gonna get the one play touchdown or not when you go up against a user. And my video is gonna be no different. Just depending on the type of user you go up against is gonna depend on whether these things are really one play touchdowns or not, but they are good bombs for you to work into your offense. So what we're gonna do is just go ahead into practice mode here. And we're going to select normally the Minnesota Vikings, and that's because the Vikings have two receivers that we can use hot route apprentice on, or the wide receiver apprentice and the slot apprentice on, to give us those additional routes to create all of these one play touchdowns. Okay, and that's really the only reason why we're selecting the Vikings. Again, these are going to be out of the New Orleans Saints playbook. So let's go ahead and select the New Orleans Saints. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk through each kind of one play touchdown one at a time. We're gonna go from cover 4 all the way down to cover 2. And mainly reason why we're picking cover 4, 3, and 2 and man, of course, is because those are pretty much the main coverages that you're gonna see. A defense can be either a zone man, or a man concept pretty much. So if you can figure out how to beat certain zones and how to beat man consistently, you'll be a really good passer. So showing you the basis of all of those coverages is a good starting point, learning how to start there. So this cover 4 beater comes out of the gun formation, and you're gonna go over to that Taysom Hill formation. And so it's gonna be Taysom Hill slot. And I like to just make sure that my best tight end is in this position right here. And then make sure that Taysom Hill actually isn't in your slot. It looks like we're good to go here with this formation. Now, we're gonna select the play action read. Yeah, play action read. So it's wide down here. And again, this is gonna be a cover 4 beater. So let's go ahead and select cover 4. Now, this works not only against cover 4, but it also works just against any inside quarters with the safety. So you'll see the cover 6 trap down here. If I was running this to the right side of the defense and he has that inside quarter, it would also work against that safety as well. But we're just gonna run the cover 4 palms just because that's basically what you normally see when people are trying to stop you from scoring at the end of the half, or if they're just trying to stop from giving up a big play. Anytime I see cover 4, I immediately go to this play just to see if the user is going to run cover 4 again, and I normally hit them over the top. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is, of course, take off the play action on your running back, because that crap does not work at all. And then we're going to put A on a slant and then put B on a slant, all right? And then we're gonna streak X. The reason why I really like this formation is you see how wide the formation is. I am on the left hash, and my right receiver is outside of the numbers. He's already so close to the sideline. Look, he is about a good 15 yards away from on alignment from that middle safety. So even if you're running cover 2, I can sneak bombs over the top because of how wide this formation is, okay? So our main receiver here is going to be Adam Thielen on this post, attacking that left safety. Okay, so I'm playing in this view so you guys can just see the safety. I normally like to try to work my way over to the right side of the field just to see if I can get it. So here we go. Adam Thielen comes untouched. You see that safety doesn't come down. Boom, bombs over Baghdad. For the faster receiver, you're good to go. Adam Thielen is just very slow. Say the Minnesota Vikings offensive line is some trash. It's so hard sometimes. So here we go. We get that bite. Boom. Bombs over Baghdad. Adam Thielen wide open down the middle of the field. This will work every time you have a safety in that quarter, that inside quarter. Every single time you'll be able to attack the safety with this. This just destroys inside quarter every single time, guys. You'll see he's wide open. wide open every single time, every single time, every single time. The first cover 3 beater I'm going to show you is going to come out of the empty Saints formation. Now, what I really enjoy about this formation is that it says empty, so a lot of people just think that they're going to be able to run mid blitz on you just because you're coming out in an empty formation, or they're going to try some super aggressive blitz because they don't think you have any blockers in the backfield. But in all actuality, you do actually have a ton of blockers here. You have A and X, and if you motion R, you can get him as blocking as well. And if you really want a 3 receiver route, you can still get a 3 receiver route with a really good pocket. So for our cover 3 beater, out of this formation, I like to go ahead and put Cook on a streak and then make my comeback route from my backside receiver. So it looks a little something like this if you look at Johnson, that B route, and just go ahead and block Randolph. We don't really need him. And the goal of this is to try to get Cook to take the safety away and Diggs to get all the way across the field. Now I have RB just in case the user takes my deep route. I should be able to hit RB underneath, and I should be able to see that really quick if he's dropping back to that deep route. So you'll see here, we get the safety, that corner comes down, he's wide open. The safety doesn't even try to run with him. This is a great route. If you see somebody trying to run cover 3 against you, and you're really struggling against this, again, you're just gonna motion Cook over. You're gonna just put Cook on a streak, motion Diggs over, and make that comeback route go by Johnson. Now, if you have a faster receiver, like Diggs is only 91. If you have a faster receiver, like a Tyreek Hill, this is a really, really great play. You'll see again, he just comes wide open down the right side of the field. Now, again, I run this on either hash. It doesn't really matter to me. I run on the left hash, I run on the right hash. I don't know which one really works better yet. I haven't labbed that out. But as you see, I am on left hash here and it's working just fine. I would assume right hash works just as well. So that's your first cover 3 beater. We're gonna go into the next cover 3 beater because we have a lot for you guys that are pretty much the same kind of concept. So the next cover 3 beater that we're going to talk about comes out of the gun bunch formation, and it's going to be your flanker drive, okay? Now, in order to pull this off, I like to have a receiver here where Adam Thielen is with either wide receiver apprentice or slot apprentice. That way you can get those 4 extra routes. If you don't have that, it makes this either kind of harder to do without that. There are some variations I can show you on how to do this. If you don't have wide receiver apprentice, but I highly suggest that you get wide receiver apprentice and put him where Adam Thielen is for this. So again, gun bunch, and you're going to run this flanker drive, okay? And it's the same exact concept. We're gonna motion Diggs over to the formation so he can get across faster. But instead of this time a comeback, we're just gonna have Thielen go on a corner route, and then we're gonna block Y and A just to give us a little more space. And I like to either have my B receiver go on a flat route to give me a little more option in the flats, or a hitch route to give me something short, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and run this play, and our goal is to try to hit Diggs deep down the center of the field or outside by the numbers. And if nothing's open, we look for Thielen, and then we come back and we look for Johnson, okay? So here we go. Boom. Wide open. No match. No match for this play. The safety does not take him at all. Diggs is gonna streak straight across his face. The safety expects the corner to pick him up. The corner is just looking at Thielen, and Diggs comes wide open. Now again, I'm gonna say this several times. If you have a faster receiver, this play is even better if you have a faster receiver because he really gets his depth and the safety can't do nothing about it. We'll run it one more time here so you guys can see it. Boom, wide open. Hit that right on that stick, lead pass him to the right, and you're off to the races, okay? Okay, so let's talk about our next cover 3 beater. And this is probably one of my favorite ones. It comes out of the I form close formation. Now, the reason why this is one of my favorite cover 3 beaters is simply because I run I form close a lot for my running plays and my stretch plays. And when someone starts to come out and they're killing my run, this cover 3 beater is a big help to get them to back up and leave me alone. So this play is going to be the play action Saints shot, okay? Now we're gonna just go ahead and run that. And again, this is going to be a cover 3 beater. So I'm going to select like a cover 3 sky here. And now this already looks perfect, okay? The only difference is that I actually have a tight end instead of a backside receiver with the extra routes. So it almost works a little bit better here because I can put Thielen on this corner route, or I can motion Thielen out and I can run a comeback route on this corner. It works either way in cover 3. I like to just go ahead and run the corner route simply because that's what people expect and that's what they're gonna cover the most. And then I'll put Rudolph right underneath him just in case I don't get what I need. Now, the reason why I actually don't motion him out and I run a corner instead is because I like the extra pass protection. In order to get really good pass protection out of this, you need to split your running backs. And this is gonna make my running backs block one here and one here instead of both of them going to block the same exact way, okay? So you'll see, pay attention that when I snap the ball, my running backs are going to split block. And that's perfect because they're going to pick up blocks on both. They're going to help out both sides of the line of scrimmage when blocking. And this play takes a long time to develop. So having that split block really helps, okay? So pay attention to what happens after the ball is snapped. Pay attention to how the running backs actually split. And again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but you're gonna need to take the play action off of your running back. So block your running back as well and make that corner route and that drag route underneath by your tight end. Boom, bombs over Baghdad. So for cover 2 touchdowns, we're going to go back into our tight offset tight end formation, and we're going to run the play action shot seams. Who comes up with these names of these formations and plays? Oh my God, PA shot seams. What are these tongue twisters you trying to give us? And we're just going to go into a normal cover 2, okay? Now, I like to run this to the wide side of the field. So right now, the wide side is the right. And what I like to do is motion over a receiver, normally my fastest receiver, and put him on a streak, okay? Then I'm going to block my running back and shift over my line so I can try to hit A. The next thing I do is put Y on a deep in route. And let me explain why. Pun intended. Y is on a deep in route because the safety or the user normally takes it backer and tries to cover A on the corner routes. Because corner routes are so hard to cover, a lot of times you'll get users who will manually try to cover them instead of letting the CPU do it and then take the middle of the field. So once that user removes himself from the middle of the field, if they're taking my A away, I hit Y because they're gonna move the middle guy so far over that Y should just be open and coming across the middle of the field, okay? So this is a cover 2 beater. The reason why it works is because B runs such a deep out route that the corner has to take it. It's so deep, the corner has to take it because if not, it's gonna just be open. This is gonna work. And if hard flats, see if he doesn't take it, B is gonna be open. Even if in hard flats, if he plays hard flats, A is really gonna be open at that point, okay? You're running a 3 route combination at 2 people and you're forcing those 2 people to select which ones they're going to cover, and they're going to cover X because it's the deepest and B because it's the second closest to the flat route, okay? So now let's just see what happens here. So you'll see A is starting to come wide open down that sideline. It happens every single time. The only way to stop this in cover 2 is of course to manually user it or to just change out of cover 2. This is a cover 2 killer and is one of my favorite combinations to get people to stop playing cover 2 against me. I just run this over and over and over again out of this formation, and it normally works because it's such a hard thing to adjust to. And it's actually pretty fast. You'll see Thielen just comes open several times. Every time Thielen is going to be open in this unless they somehow switch their formation, okay? So guys, those are all of my favorite cover 4, cover 3, and cover 2 beaters out of the Saints playbook. I hope you guys have enjoyed this really short free ebook, and you can work these plays into your personal repertoire when you're working with the Saints playbook. This is one of the best playbooks. A lot of people run this because it just has so many great pass plays out of it, and it's so hard to cover every single route combination out of this playbook. Now, if you guys have enjoyed the video and you like it, make sure you hit that like button. If you didn't like it, just close the browser. You don't have to do anything. But anyway, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you want more in-depth tips about how to improve your game in Madden, make sure you become a member, at least a tier 2 member of the channel. It's been your boy DJ Chef. It's been love. It's always love, and we out.